YouTube! Hello! I'm wearing fancy Lolita sunglasses. What do you think? I like them a lot. This is a really, really bright light. I feel like Stevie Wonder, only not as talented. I'm making another interview video because you guys are super curious and have lots and lots of questions for me. But first, I would like you to notice my shirt, which was made for me by my lovely friend Kathleen. It says, just one of the many benefits of same-sex relationships. And then there's an empty uterus with rainbow ovaries saying no babies in here. 'Cause there aren't any babies in my uterus. And you know why? It's because I sometimes have same-sex relationships. That's the only reason. I was out today with my improv team, and we went to the improv jam at the Bad Dog Theater. And I actually tried to make this interview video yesterday, but it didn't work. I just wasn't chatty enough or something. It was really, really boring. So I thought, since I just was out with the improv team like I was before making the last one, maybe I would feel a little bit more lucid or something. Yeah, I had my drama exam today. It was okay. And then I went to Starbucks, and last time I was at Starbucks, they forgot about me, so I had a free drink voucher, so I ordered the biggest latte I have ever had in my life. And it was really good. And I'm still kind of caffeinated from it, and it was like 6 hours ago. So yeah, thank you, Starbucks. You make my life so much easier and more delightful. I have 9 questions to answer tonight, so let's get on it, shall we? Someone asked me which songs of mine would I choose to perform on a studio CD. Yeah. Definitely Walking Home, Girly Girl, Normal People. This is really boring that I'm just reading a list, but somebody did ask this question, so. Addictive, A Sinner's Plea, First Kiss, Stellar, Only Care, Be Clear, Be Kind, Hibernation, A Nerd Like You, Icarus, Worthy, and Just Admit. Yeah! Wait, I have something to show you that I forgot to show you earlier. I went into the studio a few weeks ago, and there was this guy, Cam, who had this assignment for audio engineering school that he needed to meet an absolute stranger and produce their song in at least 4 parts. This is my iPod, by the way. And so we did my song Walking Home, and it sounds so fucking awesome. I listened to it at least 50 times yesterday on loop, literally. Like, I just walked around the city with my headphones on listening to myself. It was a little bit narcissistic, but I couldn't stop. So, I'm gonna do a music video eventually, but for now I'm just gonna kind of let it play in the background, and you can just sort of hear it a little bit. I'm so in love with it. Really, it's so awesome. And all the drumming parts were based on my brother's drumming from the Heliconian video, so that's pretty neat. And I sang all my own harmonies. Multi-talented, yeah! So yeah, there will be a music video eventually. I don't know what I'm gonna do because the song is about walking home in the rain, and it's been like really, really cold outside lately and snowing a lot. So I'm gonna have to wait till spring to make this puppy, but whatever. I'll do what I have to do. So next question. My lovely friend Dylan asked me of piano, guitar, and ukulele, all of which she plays. You should definitely... I'm sorry. My fire alarm is making noises. It does that sometimes. It makes squealing noises. Sometimes I have to stand on a chair and poke it. So my friend Dylan, her YouTube username, as far as I can recall, is DALYS09. Go listen to her. She's ridiculously awesome. So she also, like me, plays piano, guitar, and ukulele. And she was asking me which do I prefer to play, to write on, and to listen to. So I definitely prefer listening to piano. Jazz piano is one of the best things in the world. I love that song. I'm sorry. I'm kind of in love with myself on that track. Yeah, so I love jazz piano, whole bunches. Asbjørn Svensson Trio is the best to listen to if you want good jazz piano, especially the song 88 Days in My Veins. I gotta stop distracting myself with those sunglasses. I don't like writing on the guitar, and I also don't particularly love playing, like, I don't know, I like the guitar. I don't want it to feel unloved. I'm looking at my guitar over there, and it's looking pretty desolate. I do love my guitar. It's just it doesn't come very naturally to me, the way that piano does. I just feel like it's kind of a foreign language or something. Do you like this eye mask that I have? Why am I distracting myself with all of my possessions? It's really unprofessional and obnoxious. I'm wearing a lot of jewelry too, which is also distracting me. I get ADD when I have too much caffeine, I'm sorry. Yeah, I find it really difficult to write on the guitar because there's so many strings and I know so few chords on the guitar. I end up making up my own chords a lot of the time, such as in the song Icarus. I don't really know what that first chord is. Who will ever know? Nobody. I love writing on the ukulele. Writing on the piano feels like there's a lot of pressure because I don't want to write just boring chords, but at the same time it's hard to make up intricate parts, you know, Elton John style weird crap that happens. So yeah, right now I'm really enjoying writing on the uke, but I still feel like I run out of combinations sometimes. I mean, I always feel that way, that I've run out and then a song just happens and I'm always surprised. Someone asked me when my parents told me about Santa. My parents didn't tell me about Santa. I went up to my mom one time and I was like, Mom, Santa's not real, is he? And she was really upset. She was more upset than I was. She was like, the magic is dead and my baby's growing up, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Someone asked, which artist would I most like to collaborate with? There are many obvious answers to this question, like Sarah Quinn, Regina Spektor, Nellie Mackay. I would love to collaborate with John Legend. I have a mega crush on John Legend. I don't know if I've mentioned that to you guys. I pretty much think he's one of the sexiest people on earth. And writes some really fucking sexy music. That's partially why he's so sexy. I would really love to do that. I always sing Brandy's part in his song Quickly and imagine that it's me, because I'm just super cool like that. Someone asked me what I think of mainstream pop music these days, and the two examples given were Lady Gaga and Katy Perry. And if you know me in real life, then you know exactly why I laughed when I read that. I have a serious issue with Katy Perry. Like, she disgusts me. As a bisexual woman, I strongly feel that her song I Kissed a Girl perpetuates stereotypes about bisexuals. And I really hate being connected with this idea that bisexuals are in it for attention, that it's a phase, that they only do it when they're drunk to impress their boyfriends. All these things are very, very offensive, and I continue to be disgusted and appalled that bisexuality is now linked with Katy Perry saying, "It's not what good girls do." And also, she didn't kiss a girl in the entire video, just wanted to point that out. Other than that, I don't really listen to mainstream pop music. I have a kid on my improv team who's really into Lady Gaga and forced me to listen to her repeatedly. And she has a great voice. It's not my style of music. What can I really say? I have a soft spot for Fergie, which is kind of weird. Like, the song Big Girls Don't Cry, for some reason, is one of my intense guilty pleasures. I don't listen to mainstream pop music for the most part. When I listen to the radio, I'm listening to the jazz station, or CBC. By the way, if you live in Canada, then you know what CBC is, and if you don't live in Canada, then you are probably drowning in American culture, so you have no idea what CBC is, and you should educate yourself. But it's a really famous radio station, and not just a radio, it's also like the TV station, and it's a conglomerate, a media conglomerate in Canada. And CBC Radio has this show called Vinyl Cafe. I did have the thingy. Hang on. There it is. Stuart McLean, Vinyl Cafe. So I went to a show last week. Why am I talking in this, like, weird voice? This is not my real voice. I'm putting on, like, a radio voice. I don't know why. But I'm not going to stop now, because there needs to be continuity. So I went to Vinyl Cafe last week, a Christmas show that they were doing, and it was really fantastic. There was Jill Barber and Matt Anderson and Stuart McLean. And Vinyl Cafe, if you don't know, is this show that has short stories and up-and-coming Canadian musicians. And it turns out that Stuart McLean has a ukulele obsession. So my uncle knew a piano player in the band, so I got to go backstage, and yeah, it ended up that I was talking to Stuart McLean and I gave him my CD. So he said he'll get back to me, and he seemed really excited. So if I get on the radio, I might actually become quasi-famous. Crazy! Somebody asked me, would I write first, music or lyrics? I get a lot of questions about my songwriting process, and I find these questions difficult to answer for a few reasons. One, when I'm writing a song, I go into a kind of trance, and when I come back, I don't remember doing a lot of it. It's a bit weird. Maybe that's why I haven't done drugs, because writing a song is pretty much like doing drugs. I think John Mayer once said, writing a song is the closest you can ever come to flying. Which is pretty accurate. It's just like, I don't know where any of it comes from. A lot of my songs, I look at lines and I'm like, wow, that's really brilliant. I didn't write that. There's this one line in Icarus that's, the clock doesn't run out for those who make it tick themselves. And I'm like, that's profound shit. Like, I don't feel like I made that up, but I did. It was in my brain somewhere on some deeper level, and it came out. So it's really hard to talk about something that happens in an altered state. Also, I don't write music separately from lyrics. I mean, very, very rarely I do. There are some cases where I write lyrics intending them to be a poem, and then they end up becoming a song. Like Walking Home was one of those, and Yes was one of those. String of Light was one of those. That's very rare. There are also times when I write music and then I don't have any words to go with it, and then months later I find words to go with it. Like Morning in Chernobyl and Time Again were both those. It's rare. Usually I sit down and it all comes out at once. And it's not like I'm doing one before the other. I'm switching back and forth all the time. I'll play a verse and kind of improvise words over it, and what I like I'll write down, go back and forth from lyrics to music. I just find it really difficult to answer songwriting questions, honestly, because it's like trying to translate from a language that I don't even speak, or a language that I only speak when I'm under hypnosis. You know, like those weird stories of people who, like, go under hypnosis and they can suddenly speak, like, fluent Spanish, and they're, like, complete white bread people. Those stories freak me out. But that's kind of how songwriting feels for me. Yeah, I can't really talk about my process. I know that there have been times in my life where I have been asked to write lyrics for somebody else's music or write music for somebody else's lyrics, and like everything I produced was unlistenable. And that's pretty much why I don't do songwriting collaborations unless I'm in the room with the person and we're working on both music and lyrics at the same time together, because I can't work any other way. They're so connected in my mind. I can't isolate them from each other. Someone asked who my favorite poet is. if you know anything about poetry, and you have ever read my poetry, then you know that my biggest poetic influence... Where's the fucking... Here it is. My biggest poetic influence, possibly my only poetic influence, is Mr. Charles Bukowski. I love this book. It's a really big book. I bought this book with my gift certificate that I won to Book City from winning a poetry contest. So, poetry fueling poetry. I love Charles Bukowski. His poems are very depressing for the most part. Don't read them if you're suicidal. It's just a bad idea. Yeah, but they're beautiful. I don't even know what to say. Go read some Charles Bukowski poems. And I can't even recommend you favorites of mine because I like them all so much. I really like The Bluebird. That might be one of my favorites. And I like Where Was Jane? In the other video I made before, I read Where Was Jane, and it was so boring that I was like, I'm deleting this video. It was horrible. But go read Where Was Jane. It's sad and lovely. Someone asked me what my parents think of my career choice. Well, my brother also wants to be a musician. He wants to be a drummer. I'm not sure whether that's more or less risky of an ambition than being a singer-songwriter. I really don't know, because I know that there are lots of drummers, but I also know that lots of people need drummers. And I know that there are lots of singer-songwriters, but I also know that singer-songwriters are not necessarily what the world needs. I mean, everybody writes songs. That reminds me, one time I went to this recital that I was playing. It was at my guitar school, and this guy got up and he was like, I'm gonna play a song that I wrote. Yeah. And he starts playing this song by Jake Coco. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of Jake Coco. I don't listen to him anymore. I had like a 2-week period where I listened to him and then I didn't like him anymore. But he has this song that's like, if I were an artist... It's not that like that famous song, If I Were an Artist. It's just like, I would paint you yellow, something, something. Anyway, it was a Jake Coco song, and the guy's like, yeah, I wrote this. I was like, no one else knew that he was lying, but I knew he was lying, and I was just like laughing on the inside, and maybe a little bit on the outside too. It was so bad. Parents, career choice. They are completely and totally supportive. They buy me instruments, they pay for my lessons. They are very, very supportive. I definitely have family members who, like extended family, who if their kids told them they wanted to be a musician, they would be like, no, you have to be a doctor, or a lawyer, or an accountant, or a pharmacist. Yeah, because I think my parents just understand that money is not the only thing in the world to strive for. My mom was in the media, and my dad was also in the media for a little while. They're both pretty artsy people. They're both pretty into entertainment stuff. So, yeah, I think they're just really, really hoping that me and Max get really, really famous and can buy them a fancy retirement home someday. I would like to do that. I think that would be nice, to repay them for all the millions of things they've done for me and for Max. Someone asked me what my favorite fruit is. What is my favorite fruit? I used to love bananas, but Starbucks made the world's shittiest banana chocolate smoothie, and now bananas kind of make me gag a little bit. That sounded kind of dirty. No offensive comments, please. I'm still technically a minor for another 4 months. And then you can make all the offensive comments you want. No, please don't. I'm a little freaked out about this turning 18 thing. Like, what changes exactly? I know that there are rules that change, but like, especially because this year, I'm a 17-year-old who's been crushing on several 16-year-olds, several consecutive grade 11s. And once I turn 18, that gets kind of creepy. But, I mean, it's just a number, it's just a date that passes. I don't know, it seems weird to me. And for so long I've been in this mode of like, if anyone over 18 sends me any kind of advances or flirtatious signals, I'm just trained to be like, I'm under 18, not cool. But once I turn 18, it is cool. And then I have to like actually face the real world and give valid reasons for not wanting to go out with people. Or, I have to stop using "he's too old for me" as an excuse to be cowardly and not ask people out. Wow, this is really scary. I'm really scared. I don't want to turn 18. Okay, what's my favorite fruit? I really like apples. I can't stand tomatoes. I don't think tomatoes are fruits. I forget. Are they legumes? I don't know. Please don't answer that question in the comments, because I know that somebody's going to give me a know-it-all answer, and I'm just going to be like, I don't fucking care. Can you hear that? The fire alarm is freaking out. It actually sounds like a small animal dying. I like peaches and plums also. And pears. That's a Joanna Newsom reference. I actually do really like all of those fruits. Those are all the questions. What did I do at the jam tonight? I hosted a cooking competition in one of the scenes. Yeah. I don't know. The jam's always a bit weird. It's like, improv is so reliant on knowing people and being comfortable with people. And it's not like it's an unsupportive environment, because it's incredibly supportive and positive, and like you do kind of get to know people after you've gone back a few times, but it's still, I still prefer working with just my team because I feel completely trusting that they know how to deal if I completely screw up. On the plus side of going to the jam, it's pretty fun, and there's so many attractive people there. I don't know why, there's a lot of hot people doing improv in Toronto. Like, really. Really, really. That's what I'm thinking about when I say that when I turn 18, I'll no longer have an excuse not to ask these people out, because it's like, oh, you're really beautiful and really good at improv. I get really swoony when people are really good at improv. I just think it's so attractive for some reason. I'm weird. And I feel like it makes people uncomfortable when I say that, because they're like, oh no, now I don't want to do improv with you because you're going to fall in love with me. It's not like that. It's just like, if I already like the person, seeing them do improv is just like doubles the cuteness, because it's like, oh wow, you know how to listen, and yes, and oh, you're so cute, you're finding the game. I don't know. I had an epiphany recently that I look at pictures of improvisers in action the same way some people look at porn. Just kind of like, hey, look at you, you're so cute doing improv, damn, you just go right ahead. Do that, improv. I'm a creep. I'm a real creep. I need someone who will let me creep on them and who will creep on me in return. Yes, I need a significant other. I was having, like, the biggest urges to, like, cuddle and hug people tonight. It was really weird. I kept, like, pouncing on my improv team members and just, like, forcing them to hug me. Which was fine, they're cool with it, but it was like, I really should have someone to kiss. I gotta get on that. How do I do that? I just don't know. I get a lot of, not a lot, but I get a fair amount of offers from femme lesbians or femme bisexuals, which is for me like, that's really cool. I'm not attracted to femininity, I'm sorry. That makes me a lame bisexual. Still technically a bisexual, but a lame bisexual, yes, I realize this. I get a lot of accusations of, you're so straight. Like, you must be straight because you're not attracted to femininity. And I'm like, I have been totally into girls before. Just because they're not particularly girly girls doesn't mean I'm not bisexual. I have the freedom to label myself, motherfuckers. Don't tell me what I am. Yeah, I get really, really offended when people try to label me sexually. Like, how the fuck would you fucking know? Shut the fuck up! I'm sorry, I'm swearing a lot. But it really pisses me off. It's like, you're telling me I'm what? It's not your place to say that! Like, it will never be your place to say that. I used to do a lot of, like, speculating. Like, I'd be like, oh, he's definitely gay. Like, just look at how he acts. He's definitely gay. But now I don't do that anymore because I really, really hate when people do that to me. A lot. I really hate it. I would rather not have labels, but I feel like I need to state that I'm bisexual because I don't want to close any options. But by doing that, I've opened up a lot of options that have made things kind of uncomfortable in some cases. Yeah. I think really what it boils down to is don't like people you can't date and don't date people you can't like. I mean, I've had to learn that the hard way, so, you know, many, many times. Blah! I still didn't really get a clear answer to my question. It wasn't really a question. It was an implicit question. Last video of why do girls find me so much more attractive than guys do? Because the answers I got were kind of like lists of qualities about me that are good, but it's like, and why would those qualities be attractive to girls only? I don't know. Maybe you can help me. I have a post on my blog. Go look in the archives. I always want to say archives. The archives of my blog. There's a post called "I'm flattered you think so, but actually no," which is about where people assume that I'm gay. I get tons of people assuming I am a lesbian, and I love lesbians. I hang out with tons of lesbians. I'm a big fan of the lesies, but I am not one. Yeah, a lot of girls are into me. I sound like I'm bragging. I'm not trying to brag. Like, honestly, being rejected by someone is just as emotionally trying as having to reject someone. Yeah. I would know because one time I got myself horribly, terribly drunk because I felt so guilty. I'm trying not to do that anymore. That's very bad. Don't make yourself feel guilty for things you cannot change. Yeah. I feel like the last part of this video was really angry. I'm not angry. I'm exuding positive energy. Love, 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 love. I'm having a caroling party tomorrow. Caroling party. Yay! I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Alright, so your homework is go read Charles Bukowski. Tell me why girls find me more attractive than guys do. And if you live in Toronto and are interested in the theater, especially improv, and are not as feminine or more feminine than I, maybe we should... What am I saying? I'm 17 and a half. You know what? Just ignore that. Just ignore what I just said. Okay, I'm gonna go to sleep because it's 1:30 in the morning and I'm up making a vlog because I'm a freak. I really hope that this video wasn't very long.